I know that you were the first, one of the first ones at Clive's party to speak about Whitney's passing the other day.
Yes.
And that was, did you know her well?
Yes, I did. I actually, when I was growing up in the music industry before I had success, I somehow got on her wedding invitation.
Diddy's name keep coming up whenever people mention strange celebrity deaths or odd happenings in Hollywood. Recently, many noticed the way he talked about Whitney Houston, and some feel his words made it seem like he knew more than he admitted. This has led to growing speculation that his remarks might point to something deeper. Online theories are now tying everything back to one person, and if you've been following the conversations, you probably already have an idea who that is.
Davis, have they ever had anything past business? Because to me, they seem to mirror each other behavior-wise. Like to me, they both got like that dark energy around them. But I almost wonder, like, well, damn, you know, did they ever have anything? Well, I just wondered that.
Man.
Because they're very...
And then it's Grammy time.
That happened.
And her and Clive had a fight 2 days before. And from what I was told, Bobby Christina was present for some of that fight. And then the next thing you know,
Whitney Houston tragically passed away just hours before Clive Davis's famous pre-Grammy party. Which shocked many people was that the event went on as if nothing had happened. Even while Whitney's body was still in the hotel bathroom upstairs, guests continued celebrating below. It raises a disturbing question. Why would Clive allow the party to continue, knowing what had just taken place in his own suite? And why did Diddy, a major figure in the music industry and someone close to Whitney, appear completely unbothered? Some suspect he might be holding back the truth, or perhaps connected to powerful, secret groups that influence the industry from behind the scenes. Rumors persist that Hollywood runs on a hidden system where certain people are protected no matter what, while others are pushed aside or silenced entirely. If that's true, where does Diddy really fit in? Things seem even darker when you consider Bobby Brown's statements. He has openly said he believes something was off, not only about Whitney's death, but also about what happened to their daughter, Bobby Christina. Bobby has directly accused Nick Gordon, Bobby's ex, of being involved in both tragedies, adding even more weight to the unsettling questions people are already asking.
The world to know that Bobby Christina did not die from the bathtub incident. That's not what killed Bobby Christina. What killed
Bobby Christina?
Bobby Christina was starved to death.
Do you approach that?
He knows what happened. I don't know what happened that night. But he does.
You walk through that door and you see her much like you saw Whitney.
It was literally, it was a nightmare.
People are saying that Bobby Brown believes Whitney Houston's death wasn't just about Nick Gordon. Some claim he suspects something much bigger is behind it, possibly involving powerful people with strong ties to the entertainment world. Now that Whitney's name has surfaced in recent court testimony connected to Diddy, many are watching closely. Some think Bobby knows more than he shared and could reveal the truth one day. Whitney's name first came up during a trial when Diddy's former assistant, Capricorn Clark, testified about Cassie's career. Capricorn said Cassie had potential but wasn't on the same level as true icons. When asked to explain, she said, "Talent to me is Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey," meaning real artists who could sing live without relying on studio editing. Cassie, she added, preferred recording in a studio where her sound could be refined. Things became stranger when Whitney's name appeared again in a different context. This time about an incident in February 2012, the same month Whitney died. Diddy's lawyer asked Cassie about a night when Diddy allegedly overdosed on opioids. She confirmed she remembered. According to her, they went to a club in San Bernardino, then to a party at the Playboy Mansion. Cassie left early, but later Diddy told her he had taken a strong opioid and was rushed to the hospital. The story didn't clarify why Whitney's name came up, but the timing made people suspicious. Diddy's overdose reportedly happened on the same night Whitney passed away. Whitney was found unconscious, face down in a bathtub at the Beverly Hilton Hotel on February 11, 2012. Officials ruled it an accidental drowning. The toxicology report showed cocaine, marijuana, Xanax, and other drugs in her system. They suggested she may have had a heart attack caused by atherosclerosis, which led to her losing consciousness. But there was no solid proof she had a heart attack. The autopsy only showed mild heart disease, with one partially blocked artery, not enough to confirm sudden cardiac arrest. Another detail that bothered people was the small amount of water in her lungs, hinting she might have been unconscious, or worse, before entering the tub. The water's high temperature only added to the mystery. If she fainted before getting in, how did her body end up like that? Was someone else involved? If so, who and why? These questions are why many believe foul play could have been involved. It also explains why Diddy's name keeps resurfacing. Officially, there's no strong record of Diddy and Whitney being close. Some insiders even say Whitney avoided him. She reportedly disliked where the music industry was headed and kept her distance from certain people she saw as part of that Hollywood machine. Diddy, with his fame, fortune, and rumored connections, was exactly that. Yet, after Whitney's death, Diddy gave interviews, went to tributes, and spoke about her as if they were friends. On Ellen, he called her a legend and said he knew her well. People close to Whitney found that odd because she never mingled with certain circles, and Diddy wasn't in hers. So why was he talking like they were close? Bobby Brown has never believed Whitney's death was just an accident. Over the years, he's openly blamed Nick Gordon for not only Whitney's passing, but also Bobby Christina's. Bobby was found unconscious in a bathtub just like her mother, and that eerie similarity has never sat well with the public. When you connect all these pieces, Diddy's alleged overdose that same night, Whitney's name surfacing in court, strange behavior from people around her, and Bobby Brown's constant doubts, it's hard not to wonder what really happened. Many think a hidden system in the industry protects powerful figures while hiding the truth. If that's true, where does Diddy fit into it all? And how much does he really know? We may never get the full story, especially if wealth, status, and influence continue shielding those involved. But as more voices speak out and new details emerge, the truth becomes harder to ignore. Whitney Houston wasn't just another headline. If there's more to what happened, her story deserves to be told.
We're the first, one of the first ones at Clive's party to speak about Whitney's passing the other day.
Yes.
And that was, did you know her well?
Yes, I did. I actually, when I was growing up in the music industry before I had success, I somehow got on her wedding invitation. So I was at her wedding, but I didn't really know her, but it was like the hottest thing in town for the music industry, but I didn't crash the party somehow. You know, I was a hustler. I got my name on there, me plus one. I went there and I was just like, oh my God, I'm at Whitney Houston's wedding. You know, I was a big Bobby Brown fan. And then throughout the years, I got to meet her, and she was so full of life, so full of just joy. And she always made you feel like she noticed you and recognized you and spoke to you, and she'll definitely.
Some people are questioning why Diddy was so quick to publicly associate himself with Whitney Houston after her passing, especially when there were long-standing rumors that she didn't trust him. If they weren't truly close, why did he suddenly speak so highly of her when she was no longer alive to respond? Many believe it could have been a calculated move to protect his reputation, using a heartfelt tribute to gain sympathy and appear connected to a music legend like Whitney. But others suspect it wasn't just about image. There could be something deeper going on. Some theories suggest Diddy's connection to Whitney may not have been personal, but instead linked through Clive Davis, a powerful figure often described as Diddy's mentor, or possibly more. Clive has a long history of shaping careers, deciding which artists rise to the top and which ones fade out. According to one theory gaining traction online, Whitney may have known something damaging about this hidden system or planned to expose it, making her a potential threat. If that were true, could Clive, with help from trusted allies like Diddy, have decided to keep her quiet? This might sound far-fetched, but details about Clive and Diddy's relationship raise eyebrows. Clive himself has openly talked about being bisexual. In his memoir, The Soundtrack of My Life, he described having long-term relationships with men, including his first experience in the Studio 54 days of the late 70s. He wrote that chapter personally to ensure it was told exactly his way. Clive has said he first met Diddy when Diddy was just 23, during hip-hop's early rise. On the podcast Rock and Roll High School, Clive recalled how Diddy pitched the idea of bringing hip-hop to the top 40 charts. At first, Clive wasn't convinced, but after hearing Flava in Ya Ear by Craig Mack and some unreleased Biggie tracks, he changed his mind. From there, Clive brought Diddy into big industry meetings and supported him as a rising force who could connect the label to the streets. But that backing may not have come without strings attached. Some believe Clive funded Bad Boy Entertainment and continued supporting Diddy's ventures for years in exchange for more than just business loyalty. Rumors suggest their relationship went beyond music, and that Diddy may have played a darker, behind-the-scenes role, someone who could handle problems quietly when needed. This leads back to Whitney. Many now think Diddy might not have been just a music mogul, but a fixer for the industry's most powerful players. If Whitney truly knew something dangerous or was preparing to speak out, she could have been seen as a threat to people with influence and secrets to protect. That possibility makes her death seem far less like an accident and more like part of a bigger plan. Bobby Brown has hinted at this for years. While he hasn't accused anyone outright, he's been consistent in saying he doesn't believe Whitney or Diddy.
Bobby Christina died by chance. Both were found in bathtubs, both had drugs in their systems, and both were surrounded by people who may have had motives to harm them. Bobby has repeatedly pointed at Nick Gordon's involvement, and while many dismissed him as grieving and emotional, more people are starting to think he might have been hinting at something much bigger all along. None of these claims have been confirmed by police, but questions keep piling up, and Diddy's name continues to surface in lawsuits, scandals, and now testimony mentioning Whitney. The fact that he reportedly overdosed the very same night Whitney died only deepens the suspicion surrounding him. Maybe Bobby Brown has been trying to warn everyone without directly naming names. Maybe there really is a hidden system that protects certain powerful figures while allowing others to fall. If that's true, where does Diddy stand in that system? And how deep does his connection to Clive Davis really go? It's hard to believe the music industry could have such a dark side, a place where loyalty is rewarded and inconvenient truths are silenced. But story after story seems to follow the same unsettling pattern. Whitney Houston wasn't just a superstar. She was a once-in-a-lifetime talent who inspired millions. If her death wasn't just a tragic accident, then the truth about what really happened shouldn't be buried. And if Diddy's ties to Clive Davis run deeper than anyone realizes, financially, personally, or in ways that go far beyond music, people have every right to keep asking questions, especially as new names and details continue to surface. So, what do you think? Has Bobby Brown been hinting at this bigger truth all along? Could Diddy, Clive, and Whitney have been linked by something the public has never been told? Share your thoughts in the comments, because the more you look at this story, the harder it is to shake the feeling that something about it isn't right.